Decluttering to sell a parent's home can be totally different than decluttering your own home to sell. So in this video, I'll walk you through the process step by step so that you can save family memories, so you can avoid family arguments, and make sure this house sells in the best way possible. Here's the scenario. Your parent might be moving in with you or to assisted living or has just passed away. You have the job of getting your parents' house sold. You go into their house and right off the bat, you're overwhelmed by a house full of stuff. You know, there's old pictures, boxes of paperwork, stacks of books, dishes, totes of holiday decorations, dated furniture. You're just thinking, what do I do with all this? As a realtor here in Utah County, I have seen children and grandchildren really overwhelmed by all of their parents' or grandparents' stuff that they now have to do something with before they can sell that house. It's a fact that a clutter-free house shows better, it sells faster, and most of the time it brings in more money. I'll be using this book by Peter Walsh, Let It Go. It's about decluttering. If you're in this situation, you might want to pick up this book. Step number one is, if your parents are still alive and mentally and physically able during this process, you need to involve them in every decision. Peter Walsh says in his book that one of the biggest mistakes kids make is swooping in and treating it like a clean-out project instead of a transition of life. You know, imagine how you'd feel if someone came into your house and started giving away or throwing away things that you had for decades without asking you first. So always give your parents a voice. You might want to walk room by room with them and ask, you know, what do you want to keep? What would you like to take to your new home to make it feel more like home? What can be passed down or donated? Are there certain items that you want to go to certain people? So when parents feel like they have a voice in the process, it goes smoother. This way they're able to emotionally let go of things and bring closure and letting go to a lot of things. Step two, if parents have passed away, find out who's in charge. The first step is you need to find out who has legal authority. Now, is there a will or a trust? Is the home in a trust? If there is a trust, who is the named executor? That should be spelled out in the trust. If it's not in a trust, it will need to go through probate, through the courts, and they will appoint an executor. Now, probate can take 6 months or longer, and in the meantime, you need to keep up on utility payments for the house, HOA payments, if it's in an HOA, property taxes, and also you're going to have lawyer fees. So here's a plug for parents to get all your assets in a trust where they can get transferred quickly and easily instead of going through that probate process. When things aren't made clear in a will or a trust, family members all assume that they have equal say, and that's when arguments start. Step number three is you're going to hold a family meeting. So once you know who's in charge, who the executor is, you'll hold a family meeting. You can do that in person or a Zoom if you're all spread out, or even by a group text chat. And here's why this matters, because everyone comes in with different opinions and expectations. Some family members just want to get it done and get it sold, while others want to remember every object in that house. Some people might want certain items while others don't care at all. Without a meeting and with people just going off and doing things on their own and taking things from the house, this is where arguments will start. So a family meeting will help to get everybody on the same page. And it would also help prevent situations where wanted items are donated or maybe thrown in the trash. There was a family that sat down before touching anything in the house after their parents had passed away. They agreed on one rule, that if someone wanted an item, they would say so. If more than one person wanted it, they would draw names. So that simple little plan saved them from a lot of arguments later on. It might feel a little bit awkward to have a meeting, but it's way less awkward than people not speaking to each other afterwards. You're also going to want to assign roles in deadlines. Families get stuck when they don't know who is responsible for what. Who will be responsible for sorting through things and deciding what will be sold, what will be donated, who will be in charge of a garage sale or a yard sale, who will handle online postings, who will handle donation coordination, who will schedule repairs on the house before selling it. Deciding who's in charge of what and then deciding on deadlines helps this process move along. Without it, it can drag on for months, and meanwhile, again, the house sits and costs add up, like your property taxes, HOA fees, utility bills, etc. Step number 4 is check the will or the trust. This is the very first thing that should happen. Before touching anything in the house, always check the will or the trust to see if there are items that are already earmarked for certain family members, like jewelry, furniture, artwork, family heirlooms. A written document is always your best protection against arguments later on. So, you want to distribute these items as directed by the trust. These are always the first items to leave the house. There was a story about a father in rural Utah that passed away and left 2 really nice shotguns in his estate. So the will stated that they were to be divided equally between his 2 sons. When he passed away, one son went in and grabbed both shotguns and said they were his because he'd found them first and now they were his. So the other son had to take him to court, and he said that the will stated that they were split between the 2 of them. So what was once a family treasure turned into a fight, and the court had to step in and ordered each son to have a shotgun apiece. In the meantime, they racked up months of lawyer bills and a lot of hurt feelings. So always follow the will or the trust first. Step 5 is photos and documents. Old photos, scrapbooks, and documents need to be dealt with next. Now this is where Peter Walsh's time-saving hack comes in. If you start flipping through old pictures, you will get lost in memory land and you will lose hours or even days of progress. So don't let this slow you down. Instead, box them up and go through them later when you have more time. You can designate one person to take these pictures home and they can go through them and when they have time and digitize them. So after you digitize everything, you can put everything on thumb drives for each family member that would like one. So this way each person can have the pictures and no one will feel left out. That way you stay on track with the clean out and keep the house moving forward. That one tip could save you days or weeks. Now let's talk about what documents you should keep. Tax returns you should keep 7 years back. Bank statements 1 to 3 years unless they are tied to tax or estate issues. Property deeds, mortgage documents, or titles keep indefinitely. Wills, trusts, and insurance policies keep indefinitely. Medical records as long as possible, especially for chronic conditions or insurance purposes. Receipts for major purchases or home improvements. This might be useful for insurance or resale when you sell the house. Step number 6 is identify heirlooms and sentimental items. So at this point, all items earmarked in the will or the trust are gone, as well as all the pictures and the documents. Now is the time that you're going to let sibling first and then grandkids come in and choose something or some things that matter to them. These are the next things to go. Maybe somebody wants Grandpa's fishing hat or fishing pole because it brings back a lot of fun memories of going fishing with Grandpa. Also, if someone lives far away, do a FaceTime call with them so they don't miss out. You can set something aside for them that they would like. Now, what if 2 people want the same item? I've already mentioned before that one family drew names in this situation. Sounds really blunt, but sometimes it's what you have to do. Here's another example of what a family did. So the scenario is that both parents have passed away. There are 3 siblings, Susan, Mark, and Nancy. They all wanted the family piano, and it wasn't valuable, but it had sentimental value. Their mom had taught each of them to play on it. It had been a centerpiece of every Christmas sing-along for as long as they could remember. So Susan wanted it because her daughter was learning to play the piano. Mark wanted it because he was the most musically gifted and he still plays. Nancy wanted it because she was the one who cared for their parents. She felt like she deserved it. There was a lot of arguing and it got so bad that they even thought about just selling the piano so nobody would win. In the end, they finally agreed to something called a rotating legacy. The piano was moved to Susan's home first since her daughter was taking piano lessons. And they set an agreement that the piano would rotate every 5 years to another sibling's home. So this way, Susan's daughter was able to learn to play the piano on Grandma's piano. Mark knew that he would get his turn to play the piano, and Nancy also felt included and she was not left out. Now, what about family heirlooms that nobody wants? This happens a lot. Definitely don't guilt anybody into taking things. It's not a rejection of you or your parents. Just reality. People don't have a lot of room. Maybe they just don't want it. Maybe it's outdated. If they don't want it, remember you're saving them from decluttering it later on. If nobody in the family wants a particular heirloom, there are ways to honor the memory. You can take pictures of the item. You can record history and story behind each one of them. You can put it on a thumb drive for each sibling. This way, each sibling has a picture of that item, but they don't have to have that physical thing that would clutter their home. You can also repurpose items into new keepsakes. Old dresses, shirts, or ties can be sewn into quilts or pillows, or even teddy bears. Jewelry can be made from china, old china dishes. They can be cut and made into pendants or earrings. Step number 7, with what is left, you're going to divide everything into 3 piles. There's going to be a sell pile, there will be a donate or giveaway pile, there will be a junk or recycle pile. So let's talk about the sell pile. These are going to be your value items like your antiques, your collectibles, your jewelry, or your furniture. These can be sold on Facebook Marketplace, KSL Classifieds, eBay, or estate sales. And I'll talk more about estate sales in a minute. You'll be able to reach a wider audience online and you can maybe make some money back. And the nice thing about selling online is that people will come and pick it up from you, which will save you a trip to the dump or wherever. Garage sales also work really well for a lot of small items. You'll want to group all like items together and get them up on tables and racks where they can be seen. And then you can advertise on Facebook Marketplace. It also helps if you put pictures online so people know what you're selling. Now let's talk about the donate pile. These are the items that are in good condition but they're not worth selling, or maybe you just don't want to mess around with a garage sale. These items can go to donation centers or to others who could use them. I'm thinking like kitchenware, furniture, or clothes. Good options are DI, savers. Many charities will pick up larger furniture items. There are also pay nothing groups on Facebook where you can just list that item on a pay nothing group and people will comment if they would like it, and then they can just come and pick it up, and it saves you a trip to either a donation center or the dump. I've heard of some siblings who donate their mom's big, massive fabric collection to a humanitarian effort where they made blankets. So your last pile will be your junk or recycle pile. These are the things that are broken, worn out, or expired, or just plain junk. I'm thinking like old food storage, broken tools, broken electronics. These things do not need to stay. I do know of local companies that will park a trailer outside your house for a day or two, and they will come and pick it up after a day or two and take it to the dump, or maybe to DI. I've mentioned this before in another video, but don't use the big junk companies to come and haul your junk off. There are plenty of local people who do this as a side hustle, and they will charge you a lot less to come and haul your junk away. Then for the hazardous items like old paint or old electronics, you're going to check your city's waste disposal program. Now, what if you just don't have time to take care of what's left? Maybe you live out of state and you just need to get things taken care of and get the house sold. You might want to look into using an estate sale company. Now, an estate sale company helps families sell the contents of a home, usually after a major life change, like they're moving into assisted living or they have passed away. So what they usually do is go through the home and look at what can be sold, and they group items into categories. They research and they set prices for furniture or antiques or collectibles, household items, jewelry, and other things. And they lay items out so everybody can see everything, and they advertise the sale online through networks or social media. And they run the sale over 1 to 3 days. They'll also handle all the customers, negotiate the prices, and take payments. Then after the sale, they arrange for donation pickups and junk removal, or even complete cleanouts of the house if that's what you want. Then they'll provide you with a sales report. Now, estate sale companies usually charge a commission instead of an upfront fee, and that varies based on the area, the company you use, and the type or value of the things that are being sold. It typically ranges from 30 to 40% of whatever is sold, depending on what you would like them to do. Obviously, if they're doing a full clean out, it might be higher than 40%. But on average, you can expect an estate sale company to take about 1/3 of the proceeds. You also need to have a minimum amount for them to do it. I had a friend whose dad passed away, and they called an estate sale company because they didn't want to deal with it. And they came out and they wouldn't do it because he didn't have enough things to sell. So now once the decluttering is done, move on to getting the house market ready. You're going to want to think about repairs and cleaning. Make sure the house is very clean and presentable. Don't forget to clean little things like baseboards, windows, windowsills, ceiling fans. Pay attention to the details because buyers will. You want to make any updates you can. Updates will help to sell the house quicker and for more money. I'm thinking updating flooring or new paint, You're going to want to make minor repairs. Maybe you have a leaky faucet or a broken light fixture. Any obvious repairs needing to be made will have a buyer subtracting that money off of the asking price. You're going to want to have good curb appeal. The outside of your house is the first thing the buyer sees, so let it be a good first impression so they'll want to see the inside. Remove all the clutter, weed the flower beds, put fresh mulch in, repaint your front door. Decluttering your parents' home can be emotional and it can be a lot of work, but if you follow these steps, it can make it go a little bit more smooth. Remind us of what Peter Walsh says, memories are not in the things, they are in us. So good luck with the process. It's a big project, but it's one that you can handle. If you like this video, you might want to watch this one next.